Howdy. Hey, good morning, everybody. All right, it's almost time. You ready? Crank it up. All right, it's time for the Revolution in the Morning Show, streaming live from Franklin County, Virginia. I'm your host, Mitchell Buck. Yeehaw! Come on down and join us, ladies and gentlemen. Catch the straight truth, not that mainstream media mind control, because you can change the world in this time of universal deceit. All you have to do is look at somebody and say, I don't think so. Yeah, so I hope you're having a great Friday morning. You're getting ready to kick it off. We're going to give everybody a few minutes to get in here. I'm making a few changes. If you notice the banner at the top, we're going to have all kinds of different banners. And I'm going to, I figured out, I got a way now. I figured out how to make the overlays so we can have this stuff along the bottom, right? Yeah. Where's the other thing? Oh, hold on. I got to change over to something else. So yeah. Anyway, so good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a great day. God bless you. Don't forget to check out the little roller stream in there. And hopefully in the future, we'll be able to do more along the lines of this stuff. So yeah, remember the Revolution in the Morning Show. We're here Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. And Tuesday nights, we're streaming live with the Trump assassination files. So come on down and join us on Twitter, the newest, and well, I should say the one of the free speech bastions of the internet today. Of course, Facebook and YouTube still stuck deep in the government grips of mind control and manipulation. That's the world that we live in today. So I hope y'all are having a great day. God bless you. And I told somebody this morning, I said, hey man, you wouldn't believe what I got going on. So yeah, I've got for my birthday present to me from me. My birthday present to me from me. I wrote a song a few years ago called Imagine All the Sheeple. So I'm going to spend a couple $100 and I'm going to have somebody record it. Okay. I started talking to them this morning, and once they do it, that's my copyrighted music that I can play on this show that I can put out there if y'all want to download it and buy it. If Trump wants to play it, yeah. But anyway, I digress. I got to get my color schemes more together, don't I? My purples are a little different in my banner. So I'm going to have to, yeah, see, and we got, you made several different kind of banners now. Those, that background is, you can change that background anytime you want, the color and stuff like that. So I hope y'all are having a great day. Hey, howdy, Navy. Howdy, Navy. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, so wow. Hope you're doing well. Uh-oh. So hey, good morning, Navy. Justin, if you're doing well, man. And let's not forget our friend Nikki. Yes, Nikki Santoro says, "What's black and white?" and gets head all over. Hint: it's ends with Clinton. Yeah, the mainstream media has is how should we say it? The mainstream media is now counting has the Vladimir Putin body count. Now, believe me, it's nowhere near the Hillary Clinton body count. So, good morning, everybody. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, let's get to some news. Let me open up some. Let's get to some news and information, and we're about 5 after. So I guess I don't know how far in or how long, give everybody what 5-10 minutes or whatever to get in here or whatever they need to do. So I hope y'all are doing well. God bless you. Thanks for coming down and joining me. Man, let me switch this around here and go open up some. Well, I might as well just start down here at the bottom. Yeah, we'll just start at the bottom of this news cycle that we got going on here. Well, you know it, coming from the Joe Biden pedophilia White House. That's right. I said it. Oh, God, then these people are sick, man. They're sick, sick, sick. Yes, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre was asked specifically about Joe Biden's position on state laws restricting so-called gender affirming care, which includes chemical puberty blockers and physical reconstruction surgeries like double mastectomies. Okay? Really? Anyway, the specific question. Wow. Yeah, I got to share this page so I can play the clip. But the specific question was essentially, asking about the God, it's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable the stance of our government that says it's okay for a parent to essentially reassign the sex of the child at the parent's will at the age of 5. At the age of 5. Good God, they want to get them so as soon as they get into kindergarten, that the kids are groomed sexually and then groomed into a gender dysphoria infrastructure when they think of about sex. I was just saying, can you be really confused when you think about sex today if you're a child? Oh my God. It's got to be nuts. It's got to be crazy. Here's what the White House press secretary said. I got to. Okay, we're still sharing this. Maybe not. No. Wait. Hold on a second. Hold on one second. I got to change screens. Well, this is what happens when you're not so familiar with StreamYard. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Now this is off of Twitter, which which is probably becoming one of my more favorite platforms. But here is what KJP said.
Today, Indiana just banned puberty blockers, hormone therapies, and gender transition surgeries for minors. I'm wondering what the president's reaction is to the Indiana governor signing that bill into law. And does the president have a position on at what age these kinds of therapies and surgeries are appropriate?
That's something for a child and their parents to decide. It's not something that we believe should be decided by legislators.
And
So really, she's saying, "Oh no, God, legislators shouldn't be saying or doing anything." And here it is. This propaganda tweet was paid for by the Democrat Party. Yes, children drive a car. No. Pick a bedtime. No. Drink a beer. No. Can they vote? No. However, if a 5-year-old wants to cut off his dick and take hormones, what medical profession would say that's an appropriate treatment? I mean, really, really. So, yeah. I mean, and that is the thing. We have to understand that much of this, all of this craziness and this idiocracy is about destroying the human being, unrooting the base of masculinity and femininity so they can, how should we say it? So they can pretty much mold you any way they choose, man. That's the thing. That's the thing. Hey, good morning, Joe. Hey, good morning, Joe. Joe Becker. How you doing this morning? I hope you're doing well. God bless you. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, Greg is back. Hey, Greg. Hope you're doing well, man. Oh gosh, but imagine the craziness that it really takes for a society to tell children to indulge in their childhood fantasical thoughts. I mean, oh God. And if you have that child that is groomed in that stuff, it's really screwed up, man. It really is. It really is screwed up. Howdy, howdy. Yeah, so oh man, it is just I don't know what's wrong with people today that believe that it's okay to sexually groom innocent children. And see, that's what we have going on in school. That we essentially have this how you want to describe it, this indoctrination education into gender dysphoria. Now, it's my belief that as part of the way to control individuals is to help erase that foundation, that base that makes them who they are. And listen, when the first real identities that a child develops are boys and girls. That's not to say that there's not going to be a spectrum of girls in the femininity to the boy masculine thing, okay? The tomboy thing, okay? Not to say that that's not going to happen. And not to say that there's going to be kids that will skew feminine for one reason or another. Maybe it's the lack of a strong father figure at the house. And their mother has essentially imprinted all of the motherly instincts on that child when they're young. God bless my mom and dad, you know. God bless them. Hmm. He's sitting right up there. Yeah, not in heaven on top of my riser thing. But yeah, God bless them. Yeah, this is kind of a it's an emotional time of the year for me, particularly because it's yeah. Because it wasn't she died 8 years ago yesterday. Okay. So it's crazy. But yeah. Man, they yeah. So, you know, live the best life you can while you can. I know it's tempting to sit back and relax and glide along, and after you've worked all your life, you deserve that. I agree. But I don't know if a older person can afford that today, considering looking at what our number one our government has become. Oh gosh, man, and number two, what in the hell else is gonna go down? I mean, it's sheer crazy. Now, of course, after the shooting in Tennessee, the LGBTQ community screamed in outrage and complained and bickered and bitched and attempted to take over the Tennessee State House, or I should say the protest did for a little while. And three House members from Tennessee joined in the chanting and actually joined in with the protesters at one point. Two of the three have been expelled from that body. Now, they were expelled basically because what they did was they aided a riot and attempted to overthrow the House business. Really is crazy stuff. But I don't believe any were arrested. I don't believe any of those people are going to face what the people on January 6th face. But yeah. So two freshman House members in the Tennessee state government have been expelled from their positions. Now, I don't know if it's along the line. See, here's the thing about that. If it's along the line of, federal offices, those people can't be essentially barred from going back. If they, have a special election and they win the special election, they'll be back. I believe that should actually, work like that. But you can't aid and abet an effort to shut down the government. Maybe is the way to put it. Let's see what else we got to talk about here, guys. Well, let's talk about the French Revolution. Now, over in France, it's been a lot of protests as Macron, the Wiener King, has decided to act in with basically what we would consider to be executive orders and go around the legislature and the courts and raise the retirement age in France. Now you have to understand France France has been seeing this push from the globalists to break the independent liberty of the French people. I think they've already broken the independent liberties of the Germans and the Dutch and the Netherlands and the Swiss and those guys offshore. They're still hard up working on the Italians who are resisting. And the French have started to, well, let's just say, resist. Germany now has strikes in Germany and these are labor strikes. These are not protests about government dictates and government actions. In Paris, demonstrators forced their way into Black Rock offices in Paris, taking the protest against the government and the pension forms. Meanwhile, they also burnt down what Macron claimed to be his favorite French restaurant. Yeah, so they did it. The recent protests are entered in their 11th day, and the protests are not waning. In fact, they're actually starting to grow. And the government the government of France is very concerned. In fact, the government of France, like the rest of the European governments, would probably want to get into a war with Russia just so they can say, look, it's the boogeyman bear. He's Putin his nose, man. It's the boogeyman bear. Yeah. I mean, really. I mean, look, NATO should have been disbanded in the early 90s. Okay? Let's not lie to ourselves. Hell, NATO should have been disbanded when it was caught blowing up innocent European citizens for political manipulative purpose. The European Union was founded on essentially a color revolution, right? You can't put two and two together and get more. I'm just asking. The European Union is the reincarnation of, the National Socialists in Germany. So, yeah, it's crazy. But the American people, they will not revolt because one believes it's the Democrats and one believes it's the Republicans, between 90 some percent of the electorate. In other words, the electorate themselves have been captured by this mass psychoses that would put the difference between Republicans and Democrats when, well, the really only real difference is that on the face of it, Republicans don't want to abort babies. They want people to have personal responsibility. While Democrats are about aborting a baby, aborting everything, and killing society. So we have to understand that behind the scenes, where it really matters, when the bureaucratic rubber hits the road, the Democrat and Republican Party are like twin brothers, except one of them has decided to, well, transform. Yeah. Idiocracy is on the rise in America. Now, the United States Supreme Court, you will be hearing many news stories talking about how the United States Supreme Court today ruled that it's okay that for a trans woman or a trans person to be in a sporting competition. West Virginia state law, which banned biological males who pretend or later decide that I'm a bitch, that they cannot compete against girls, period, in sports. It's not fair. The only fair thing is to have 3 categories. I mean, really. You got men's sports, you got women's sports, and you got trans sports. Look, it's so simple. It's fucking stupid that people don't want to admit it to themselves. This intermingling of genetic depositions from birth is not going to create equal, diverse, or equitable sporting events. I'm just being honest with you. So there's a reason why all the girls that are trans that go turn into be men, there's a reason that they don't go and play professional sports or they don't go into college. Yeah, how many lesbians do you see going out for football because they become boys? How many do you see actually going out to become linebackers and linemen in football? In hardcore contact sports. And believe me, today, soccer at the upper levels, basketball, football, ice hockey, if you think about it, all these different sports are contact sports, a mano, so to speak, on a one-on-one and a team basis. And there's a reason why women who become men do not try to insert themselves into men's professional sports as competitors, because there is no competition. I mean, that's just period. Look at the swimmer from University of Pennsylvania. I forget its name. Leah Thomas, right? Leah Thomas. Oh, it was ranked 430 something man swimmer in the world. I'll tell you what, I don't give a shit who you are. If you're a ranked swimmer in the world and you're near 500, you're really damn good as a man, as a boy. I mean, I think it's really chicken shit to I'm going to tuck my dick between my ass cheeks and crack and swim away as a girly girl. I'd be number one. Oh, gosh, that is the epitome of inequality, isn't it? It really is. It really is. Anyway, so understand. Let me get back to my original point. You will hear everybody talking that the Supreme Court has made transgender athletes legal because they would not grant an emergency stay. This the Supreme Court thing for the West Virginia law was on an emergency injunction to stop a lower court that had ruled against West Virginia. Now, reasons being, one of the reasons being, I would imagine would be the irreparable harm and all this other stuff that's going on and floating around there, right? But the other reason being is that the Supreme Court, the full Supreme Court, not just a little en banc, or it's not en banc, but a little panel or one person or two persons from from a region that would reject a case or say no. Okay. So it won't be long. The full U.S. Supreme Court will be ruling on this transgender stuff. And, I would imagine that the people at the U.S. Supreme Court would just look at them and say, why can't there just be three categories of sports? Men's, girls, men's, women's, and transsexuals. And within the transsexual category, see, here's the thing. Here's the thing about the inequality that the tranny men are stuffing down the throats of the tranny women. Okay. If you really want to look at it, transgender men know that they have a superior physical ability than the natural born girls. They know that. You know it. No, I know it. Okay. We also know, as I said a minute ago, that athletes that transform from men to women or transgender, whatever you want to call it, right? Look, they are left out in the cold because there is no way that they can compete against professional men or men at a high level of athletic competition in natural male female categories. Okay. We know this. The only fair, equitable solution from the Supreme Court would say, why can't you have three leagues? Why can't you have the trans league? Why can't, and they can flame on, and nobody has to turn in to watch it if they choose not to. It's like women's soccer. Who in the hell watches women's soccer or women's basketball? Much of women's sports are, well, it's at a lower level of play. It's slower. It's just not as exciting and as good as men's sports. Just natural truth. But people don't like that. People hate it when you speak realism, reality. We're supposed to live in this mind controlled, screwed up, load of crap world that they want us to have going down, man. It's sheer crazy. It is. It is, man. Greg. Yeah, could you see that? You get home, little Johnny comes home from school. I'm a girl today, mommy. Oh my God. God bless them, man. I don't know, man. It's crazy. It certainly is. It's a unique time in the world that we're living in, right? I mean, it's always kind of unique, but man, I'm telling you, it is sheer crazy. Yeah, over here on AmericanGreatness.com. Come on over here, check her out. They're out. I really like Victor David Hansen. Okay. So, he says, our French Revolution. Now, America has three potential futures. Two of them are really bad. The third one is, well, whatever. Hansen says the Democrat Party vanished in 2020, sometime in 2020. Yeah. you know, it was absorbed by hard left ideologies that were bent on radically altering and or hijacking existing institutions to force radical equality of result agendas that otherwise do not earn majority support. Yes, so Hansen is just pointing this stuff out. He says, "I don't know what the hell is the matter with people." You know, we have uh, it's crazy. I was trying to find oh yeah, 100,000 plus people killed from fentanyl every year. And, the United States government is essentially writing blank checks to foreign. That's just, it's just crazy. We're writing money to foreign checks to foreign cartels. It's, he said, he points out that, so Democrats periodically threaten to pack the courts, end the filibuster, destroy the electoral college, override the states, and they bully everybody into stupid shit. They want to establish their pejoratives to establish balloting laws. And through these balloting laws, they have literally unleashed crime left and right. Hansen says the revolution in government of force feeding these agendas to the people is essentially driven by the elite. We no longer, institutions are no longer recognizable. The FBI, as we knew it, no longer exists. 3 former FBI directors either lied under oath to federal investigators or pled amnesia in congressional testimonies. Our other highest former national intelligence officials lied under oath to the Senate, never held accountable. The IRS is weaponized against opponents of Democrats. The Department of Justice is more likely to send the FBI after grammar school parents than mobs threatening the homes, lives, and children of Supreme Court justices. You better remember that 70% of the people never voted for any of this. They didn't vote for what the stuff that they do. They didn't vote for third party vote harvesting or election day balloting audits or non-election day balloting audits and literally getting votes over weeks or a month. Okay? They've abused the entire system, And some of this is what Hansen says directly. Some of it I was kind of ad-libbing because remember the left had the perfect storm in 2020, 120 days of riots in Portland George Floyd and all of the racial strife by the big lying Marxists. And don't forget the new KKK, the Antifa. What's the difference between Antifa and the KKK? One rode horses because they didn't have cars, dot, and the color of their hoods. The only difference between the Democrats today and the Democrats of old is the color of the fucking hood that they hide their face under. Because they have become the threat to America. They have become the arm of the New World Order that is working to kill our constitutional republic. And as I have said before, the Constitution is an essential. When they decided to have COVID, people thought I was crazy. In fact, the CVS drugstore where I was standing in front of on the sidewalk, holding my sign up at the Walmart, reminding everybody in the middle of all this stupid shit, the Constitution is an essential, that you cannot get rid of it. The Bill of Rights is not about and for the American people, not the way the government says. The government says your rights, the people's rights, are spelled out in the Bill of Rights and the Constitution. The bullshit. Bull fucking shit. What is spelled out are the limitations of the fuckers in Washington, D.C. and the lawmakers. That's who it binds. That's who it stops. It doesn't stop we the people. See, if you think about this, and here's how government has so twisted this and flipped it all around on everybody. Think about it like this. Didn't the government say, well, Twitter and Facebook and the rest of them, they can do whatever they want. They have this 230, immunity that, they can, and don't forget, we send them requests on national security stuff. Well, all of that has expanded to where they essentially political favoritism in the revolving door of social media, government, and everything else it's a problem. The same way it is, in the Pentagon, the same way it is in Health Human Services, the same way it is in the Justice Department, as and the FBI and other government agencies, as former government officials go to work in the industries that they regulated or that they kept a tab on for criminal activity. So I'm telling you, it's a really bad situation that we're in. Now, Hansen talks about and I really never learned about this one in history. I mean, this Hansen talks about the Jacobin revolution of the sort that in 1793, 1794 nearly destroyed France. Hansen believes that we're entering into one of those zones, one of those areas where we are not sure what is going to come and not come out of all this. Here in my local area, and one of has been canceled. It's been canceled because, well, the environmental plan, quote unquote, for the new location wasn't submitted and approved. And I don't know if they have to do improvements or they couldn't find a suitable location. So they canceled canceled the Floyd Fest, which has been going I don't know, 20 years strong. And so in our area, that's going to be, that's going to be a big economic shock to up there on that little mountain up there on Floyd Mountain. But yeah. Yeah. Oh no, not really. Yeah, the US military is using YouTube, TikTok, and other social media platforms to improve its image. Isn't that called a psyop? Isn't that called propaganda? I mean, isn't that called, isn't that what it really is, Uh, yeah. So the US military has been weaponizing these so-called e-girls. In other words, they have soldiers that are how should we say it? They have soldiers that they work to US military, they share their lives, they get all dressed up, they simp on all these guys, and they get, it's basically a military psyop. It's military influencing. Yeah. So, let's not lie to ourselves. It's called fucking propaganda. Oh, well, unconventional tactics to persuade and influence foreign allies and enemies in support of U.S. Army objectives. Problem is, you don't know where the psyops start and where the psyops end today. And that's that is the real problem. You don't know. You really don't know where the way things are today, how screwed up it really is. Okay. You really don't. It's hard to understand. It's hard to, it's, it's hard to get it, and even, Tucker doesn't get it all the time. Okay. Here, listen.
Politicians in Washington remain mired in their weird boomer World War II fantasies where they're all Winston Churchill and Zelensky's the head of the French resistance. We could give a million examples, but we can't resist, once again, the leader of the Republicans in the Senate, Mitch McConnell, last month.
I'm going to try to help explain to the American people that defeating the Russians in Ukraine is the single most important event going on in the world right now.
Defeating the Russians in Ukraine is not the single most important event in the world from the perspective of the United States. It's not even number 15 on the list. It's way below ending the importation of fentanyl into this country, and it's way, way below preserving the strength of the U.S. dollar. But if Mitch McConnell and Joe Biden and the rest of these reckless leaders have their way, an increasing number of countries will do what so many have already done, which is begin to reject the U.S. dollar. And what will happen then? Well, all those dollars will come home. And the value of our currency will plummet even further. And that will lead to poverty across the United States.
Well, if if we had any money, that's why I try to explain to people earlier this week. You don't really know how poor we are. A young family today, they're screwed. I mean, they're working full time and still getting government assistance many places in one form or another. That's the pitiful state of the American economy. Nothing you see today is of face value on the mainstream media. Okay. The Wisconsin election. Okay. At what level is a vote you pay somebody to vote? Is it considered a bribe? Really? At what point? Okay. A group called Wisconsin Takes Action offered $250 to voters to sway their friends to vote for demo rat Janet Protowski, although and through an app called Empower. Look, now instead of doing it back door through Act Blue, that they already have all these millions and tens of millions, if not billions of dollars over the years of ghost donations that were money laundered into the Democrat Party. This is, look, this is Al Capone shit. Talk about Donald Trump's Al Capone. Jesus. You don't think that the Democrat Party shouldn't be treated as if it's a massive criminal organization after it hired a foreign spy named Steele to infiltrate the FBI, to hook up with their cronies and their friends in the FBI to smear Trump, and then Comey to get it. I mean, listen. If you believe that all those fucking things are unconnected, I'm sorry, but you're way, way, way wrong. You're wrong. It's all one giant fraud scam on you. So anyway, the Wisconsin Takes Action app, Empower, was used to attract residents to the polls. Okay. To vote for their Supreme Court judge. Now, here's the thing. George Soros and his $1 million that he dropped, it probably just went to pay for all this. And if it did, he needs to be arrested along with all the other sons of bitches. Downloading the app gives and pays a voter $30 for free. Easy, right? And providing 75 names with phone numbers or emails in the app pays $60. Each time users reach out to their friends to vote early, plan to vote, or make contact on election day, they will get paid in gift cards on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Yeah, at what point is this just plain fucking bribery? Really? Now remember, as this one patriot guy, I like George Beasy tweets. A guy that proved how the voter system could be hijacked and went and got ballots, mail-in ballots, in the names of GOP leadership and somebody else from up in the government state, right? And he got the ballots. They mailed them to him. And he could have taken them, scribbled out a signature, and voted. because we know those machine optical readers have been essentially turned into one eye Willie, so the Democrats can, get on by. Yeah, it's sheer stupid on stupid, isn't it? So, it is. It's just, it's just crazy. Boy, I'm telling you, I just, I have to wonder about the justice system sometimes. I really do worry about the justice system. Look at the shit they're doing up in New York to Trump, right? Like, and Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer. Said the good people of New York, we believe that Donald Trump can get a fair trial. Damn, man, I don't know what he's been smoking, but a Labrador must have ate the stash, and Chuck Schumer has made brownies with it afterwards. Oh man, I'm telling you. Anyway, I saw this and I said, "What the hell?" Yeah. Well, the insanity plea. The crazy, crazy, crazy plea. You're crazy. Sometimes it works in court. Sometimes it works, man. A Florida woman, yes, a Florida woman was found, or I should say, pled guilty to avoid prison and will instead receive mental health treatment. Michelle Colts pled guilty in a Tampa courtroom to reduce charges following her 2019 arrest. 24 months of community control. What the hell is community control? Is that like walk-in probation instead of going, you get probate and then yeah, followed by 15 years of probation. So instead of getting jail time, they gave her like community control time. Is that house arrest like deal, right? Followed by 15 years probation. Or yeah. Anyway, back in October 2019, in a home she shared with her parents, authorities found 24 homemade pipe bombs filled with nails and screws and pellets, along with materials to make more bombs and books about terrorist bombing. They also found a hit list. Yeah. Colts arrested, could have landed, should have been sent to prison for 100 years, right? But she was found unfit to stand trial the following years of mental health evaluations and treatment. She was eventually diagnosed with schizophrenia. Anyway, her mental health treatment will include counseling at an in-house facility. There will be no record at all of her criminal conviction. The crazy bomber lady. Oh my God, won't even have a mark on her record. Ain't that some shit, man? I'm telling you, that just doesn't seem right. That just doesn't seem right to me. I don't know about you guys, but that just doesn't seem right today to me. Yeah. Meanwhile, Elon Musk. Oh, yeah. Oh. Huh. Well, we'll go to this one instead because I listen. I know many of you, and I was too little to remember. I remember seeing the news footage and news clips of this event the Democrat National Committee riots, or the Democrat, what do they call those things? They call them, damn it, Mitch. I forgot. Conventions. Yes. Yeah. So, anyway, in 1968, there were riots at the Democrat National Convention. Okay. In 1968, there was an estimated 10,000 protesters there. Okay. And what happened, and what people didn't know or realize, that there was over 1,000 FBI agents in the crowd. Question is, how many were literally acting as agent provocateurs? I think that's something that you really have to ask yourself, right? I mean, here's a short clip. I got a couple clips here from the riots. Here's a start.
On August 26th, Democrats convene in Chicago to nominate their candidate for president. "10,000 anti-war protesters also turn up.
Yep.
20,000 police and National Guard circled these demonstrators, and they then spent time taunting each other until the whole event became explosive. The protesters challenged the police clubbed the protesters.
Protesters, journalists, local residents, and even members of the clergy are beaten by police.
Not a good scene.
They use so much tear gas, it seeps into the lobby of the Hilton Hotel.
There was just this pervasive sense of a nation at tension with itself, that the forces were beginning to tear the American people apart.
But what we have to understand is that, a lot of this was driven by government, and that during that time, it was not known that, many undercover government counterintelligence operations were going on the grounds of America, within all the entire political spectrum of America, just like it is today. And see, the thing is, they've conquered the Democrat Party. They've conquered the Republican Party. They've been caned. They've been put into that gilded cage. And that's what nobody wants to tell you. That just like the American Reichstag of January 6th, that was essentially set up by the government. There were hundreds and hundreds of government agents in that crowd. We already know that there was more than 19 affiliated with the Proud Boys alone. Okay. It is really a sad state of affairs because of the number of undercover officers and the literal standing down of Capitol Police officers at the doors of the buildings. Really. That's a problem. You know? That's a problem. Why? I'm not sure. I can't say why they stood around like nothing. Okay. So we know there were 13 plainclothes undercover agents among the Proud Boys and that day and other patriots. And then there were also 19 confidential human sources belonging to an agency called his Homeland Security Investigations. Then add 8 FBI confidential human sources that are known. And so, listen, we're up to 40, 50, probably 60 if we really sit back and count them, agents that were involved deeply in January 6th. And the question is, did they actually work as agent provocateurs? And did they encourage people to commit crimes? I don't believe that just because somebody encourages somebody to commit a crime, that person is innocent. Okay. I mean, just because somebody tells you to do something stupid, because go steal that, man. Go. Come on. You don't have a hair in your ass. Go steal that. You don't have, man, I'm telling you, people are barking up the wrong trees, when they try to say, well, somebody else told me so. And as I have said about Ray Epps did not commit a crime on January 5th when he told people to enter the Capitol. Okay. That's the truth. That's not a crime. The Democrats know it. The Republicans know it. The U.S. House and the Justice Department and all those people know it. That is not a crime. However, that said, the very next day on January 6th, when he whispered and they pushed the barricades aside and they all advanced up there, and they did that. See, here's the thing you have to realize. They did that as people were arriving from somewhere else. The other action, I think, that was on the other side of the Capitol was where you see the crowd had built. But I don't think it had built on the other side. But regardless, okay, it's not that's not a defense against being stupid and committing stupid crimes. Okay. Now, the persecution of those stupid crimes, the way it's going down is really, really screwed up. But it is, how should we say it? It's a world of falsity that we live in. Tucker Carlson joins in with it. Jacob Chansley, Jacob Chansley was not released from jail because of the Tucker Carlson expose stuff. Now, everybody puts them side by side and said, look, we actually did something. We can do something if we promote this stuff. When Tucker didn't do jack shit. He didn't. Jacob Chansley was scheduled to be released. Okay? It was already scheduled months ago. his good time, his federal time, his good time, and all that other stuff, the way it worked, it was already in the mix. Okay. But people aren't people get caught up in the flow of everything, and you literally have to take everything piece by piece by piece. If not, you'll just get screwed, blued, and shafted out the other end. Man, I'm telling you, that's just how it seems that it works. What else we got going on here? ABC News is effectively, running election interference already, as ABC News has blurred out Trump's donation number in the speeches and the news clips of Donald Trump talking. Isn't that amazing? That's just not that just shows the bias that is against Donald Trump. The always about Clinton network, ABC, they're just crazies, man. I'm telling you, they're crazies. What else we got going on here? Oh, yeah. Hamas, that terror group in the Middle East, and CARE, the Council Islamic CARE, of Council of Islamic American Relations. Of course, they're basically Hamas is a U.S. sponsored terror group, right? Well, in New Jersey, they wanted to designate each January Muslim Heritage Month. No. Look, I know there's 365 days in the year, but it's just stupid. Okay? Enough of the proselytizing of everything and everybody and all their special days. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jill Biden. Yes, the jackass babysitter who screwed her husband. Not her husband, but her baby employer's daddy. Yes, a babysitter, Jill Biden, looking after the little kids. Said that yes, that I guess is it Louisiana won the basketball tournament, right? College basketball, the NCAA tournament. And so Jill wanted to also invite the second place team. Why hasn't everybody been invited? Everybody should get a participation trophy, right? Even if they lost, even if they failed, they should all still have a party. Well, shit, all those guys had partying afterwards. They may not have won, but that's no reason not to party and get down with it, right? Yeah. Well, Poland has decided to become the first European nation to get nuked by Russia. That's my oh shit. That's my opinion anyway. Okay. Poland has said that it will lead the coalition to supply warplanes to Ukraine. Yes, Zelensky encouraged Poland to lead the way in building a coalition that will send warplanes to the Ukrainian military. Listen, you know what they should be sending Ukraine? the Western powers, they should be sending JDAMs, and they should be dropping them from NATO planes right on top of the Kiev Parliament building and wherever this scumbag phallus playing cocksucker is. Okay. Man, I'm telling you, he is just horrible. Zelensky is, he's a puppet of the New World Order. Victoria Nuland, um, Victoria Nuland should be in prison. She should be held accountable for the crimes that she has committed in Ukraine. The American government under Barack Obama and Joe Biden, Samantha Powers and Susan Rice and the rest of them, they should be held accountable for their warmongering, neocon, neoliberal thirst for blood. Russia has just come out this week and said, look, we're not stupid. Well, look, they didn't say it like I'm going to say it, okay? Let me paraphrase what Russia said. Do you think we're fucking stupid? Really? We know we're in a hybrid war with the United States of America and NATO. We're not stupid. We know exactly what's going on, and it's not going to end well. I don't know. I don't know what people think, that you can just keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and the Western powers act like they're angels when they're just big ass bullies trying to get their own way. Now, Ukraine is one thing, right? Taiwan is basically what has happened. And you won't hear this from anybody else, okay? The United States and NATO and our color revolution in Ukraine that has caused this war, okay? Russia is probably saying, shit, in 2014 we should, when they didn't, they should have sent in troops, but they know what would have happened because of the Azov battalion and the Nazis. Okay. They understood the situation on the ground more than the Americans. Okay. But what they don't realize is what they've done is now Taiwan is now literally on the hot seat. And they, China is preparing an invasion. Now, they also have a backup plan, I should say they have a first plan. The first plan is not an invasion of Taiwan, but a color revolution in Taiwan, where now one of the top some Chinese billionaire is now running for the presidency of Taiwan. He is pro-China. And whether you realize it or not, the pro-China contingent on Taiwan is larger than you can realize, larger than you think. Okay. And they're going to overthrow the nation. And, you have to understand how this is going to work, because the United States has done it over and over in nation after nation, through psychological warfare, through mind control and manipulation, and using and moving one person's opinion from where it sits right here to over to here, to where it is in parallel with what the others want to say. Okay. Jonathan Turley, jonathanturley.org. Another one of the places that I like to go and listen to and get information, right? He termed Bragg's indictment of Trump as a legal Slurpee. It's all satisfaction and no substance. He says, we cannot and will not normalize serious criminal conduct. That's a quote from Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg. Look, this is a man who routinely knocks down felonies to misdemeanors, okay, or dismisses them outright altogether. He suggested that he had no alternative but to charge Trump with 34 counts of falsifying business records. It's just a freaking joke. He insisted our quote unquote business integrity is at stake, according to Turley. After all, Bragg intoned with no sense of self-awareness. He has always believed that the bedrock of the basis for business integrity and a well-functioning marketplace is accurate record keeping. It's all well and above. It's all about a well-functioning business marketplace, not a campaign pledge to bag Trump for some unnamed crime, Turley adds. Yeah, when people think Bragg, they think business. Yeah, bullshit. Utter bullshit. If these guys were worried about it, they would have already indicted the Clinton campaign, which was in just across the way in Brooklyn. It wasn't in Manhattan. It was in Brooklyn. Man, I'm telling you, it's crazy, crazy stuff. So the vague Turley said Bragg released an indictment that is so vague on key elements that it's unclear what the grand jury thought it was doing. The grand jury thought it had one thing in its mind, and that was indict Trump. Outside of that, look, they can indict a ham sandwich. They can indict the bread, the ham, the cheese, the butter, even the mustard separately. Okay. But when you indict a ham sandwich, you don't have 2 counts of sliced bread, 2 counts of sliced ham, 1 count of sliced cheese, 1 count of pat of butter, 1 count of, oh Hey, look, I made it back. I don't know how. I'm sorry, everybody. I don't know when it dropped. I didn't see it. If it drops, somebody can send me a message on my cell phone. But yeah. Anyway, maybe I just got booted. Heck, I don't know. All I know is that I got dropped there somewhere along the way. I'm not sure when that happened. So sorry about that. If you can, over here in the message, hey, got dropped. Bad internet. But don't you worry. I'm gonna I'm gonna have I'm gonna have I'm gonna have different internet next month, probably. Okay. This service from the same line and the same system really hasn't been doing real well for me. So yeah. So anyway, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if it stopped. I don't know what happened. I don't know when it crapped out on me. Okay, sorry. But hey, out in California, California judge said handgun control measures have been halted by a federal judge. The regulations targeted gun enthusiasts involve device safety requirements, including technology to stamp bullet casings with the make, model, and serial number of the gun firing. So every time you fire your gun, they want you to have a little on the hammer, the I guess that's where else would it be, right? Um, the act requires all handguns manufactured and sold in the state to meet safety device and testing requirements, like a chamber load indicator, visual indicators to show there's a round in the chamber, a gun magazine, a magazine disconnect mechanism, and a micro stamp. Characters and printed on bullet casings, which can be used to identify the make, model, serial number of a gun it was fired from. The law requires the California Department of Justice to keep a roster of all guns that have been tested for safety by the state, and gun makers must pay an annual fee to keep their products on the roster. Wow, that's all wholly unconstitutional. Talk about the interference of interstate commerce. Plaintiffs claim all the provisions violated their Second Amendment rights to buy handguns, especially new handgun designs. But the state argued laws don't restrict people from buying guns, just ones not on the roster. Yeah. So the roster. So in other words, the state of California has set up a thing where they literally have a roster identification of every gun that goes beyond just a serial number. Okay. That's in the records of the gun shop and the police and everybody else. It must have all these special features to be allowed on the gun roster. Look, Democrats know and understand Jim fucking Crow. Okay? Jim Crow, ladies and gentlemen. Jim Crow. That's what we're looking at. And it's new, it's new. It's new. Let me ask this person, I had to ask somebody about they text me because they're probably watching this. But, this is Jim Crow shit. This is a gun tax the same way they had a poll tax, or they had an intelligence test to go vote. Shit, if they had an intelligence test to go vote today, it would just be, well, pretty shit out of luck. Yes, you're absolutely right. Kid Rock doesn't use one. Anyway, so I hope y'all are having a great day. God bless you. Thanks. Yeah. Anyway, as Greg says, Kid Rock doesn't use one. Oh my God, these liberals have just lost their minds, man. Liberals have just lost their minds. If you think about it, because this is Jim Crow shit. Democrats seem to forget they started the Civil War because the Democrat Party wanted to own people. The black community was on the plantation of the Democrat Party in more ways than one, then and today. 100 years of Jim Crow? And but it's all, Democrats have used this mass psychology and said, well, those were Republicans that wanted to own people in the Civil War. Those were Republicans in Alabama and South Carolina and Virginia and North Carolina. Ha 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 ha. No, they weren't. It's the Democrat Party. The only thing they've changed is the targets. They're trying to turn some other group into a fucking slave. Oh man, I just don't know why. I don't understand. I understand. I just reject their control systems. There's no freaking way. Meanwhile, the an update on the founder of Cash App, right? The founder of Cash App, who died after being stabbed in the streets of San Francisco, right? He was walking the street at 2:30 in the morning, and somebody stabbed him, and he stumbled out around a building, and somebody stopped and looked at him, and he showed him his wound, and he asked him for a ride, and they drove off. They drove off. That man would still probably be alive today. This man, somebody would have run him to the hospital real quick. It would have been a lot better chance. But no, he died right there. The sorry ass San Franciscan. Sorry ass human beings. Number one stabbed him, and another one wouldn't take him to the hospital. I drove through San Francisco once. Did I? I'm trying to remember. I'm not sure if I did. I'd have remembered if I would been through San Francisco. I went down the I-5, if I remember right. But I don't know or remember crossing the Golden Gate Bridge. Because if I went to San Francisco, that's one of the things that I would do. Just to see it, to realize it, to how big it is. But anyway, wow. San Francisco, who wouldn't really want to go there today? San Francisco inmates have to sue to get sunlight. Inmates arguing that sunshine and time outside affect their cells, and outside of their cells affect their health. Okay. Yeah. The inmates, 7 men, then housed in San Francisco County jails 4 and 5, sued in May of 2019 over what they said were unconstitutional conditions. They were literally kept inside 23 and a half hours a day in their cells, I should say. And probably the other time they were got out to take a shower. Now, I don't know if these guys are in solitary for why. I mean, I really don't know. Okay. I can't say. There are all kinds of good people. Well, there are all kind of people in prison. I don't want to say good people because most of them really aren't. There's a few people in there that made a stupid mistake and really screwed up, but generally otherwise, prison is full of people that should be there. Yeah. So we got about 20 minutes left here, I guess. Let's see. North Carolina. In North Carolina, a Democrat lawmaker said, screw you. See you later, Democrat Party. I'm going to join the Republican Party, and I'm going to give them a veto-proof majority because of the governor. That's right. Because of the governor. The governor, I guess, had vetoed something that was passed. And now the Republicans have a super majority in the General Assembly, which will allow them to push through bills on abortion and voting. Okay. That's what we're looking at. Okay. State Representative Tricia Cotman recited her political bona fides Wednesday morning at the GOP headquarters in Raleigh. Single mother, teacher, small business owner, and woman of strong faith. She was a Democrat. Now she's a Republican. And the Representative Party swap gives the state GOP a super majority over good old Roy Cooper as he finishes his last 2 years in office. Cottham, 44. Said the Democrat Party has become unrecognizable from when she was first appointed in 2007 to fill a vacated House seat. She accused colleagues of villainizing those who with free thought and bullying her to toe the party line. She said, I will not be controlled by anyone. Republican House Speaker Tim Moore confirmed at the end of a press conference that the party would push forward with plans to redraw voting districts. The North Carolina Supreme Court ruled in December that the GOP drawn congressional maps were unconstitutional because of partisan gerrymandering. A newly formed and Republican majority court agreed last month to rehear arguments in that case. You know what's really just pathetic? Democrats gerrymander. Republicans gerrymander. And what people really don't understand, gerrymandering is controlling power. Slicing and dicing up who votes for who in what districts so you can rack and pack and stack and hijack the voters You can screw them till they're bleeding out their ass and they don't even know it. They don't have a clue. They don't. They don't have a clue. Really? Well, you know it was bound to happen. The internet queen of information, disinformation, censorship, Jacinda Ardern, has joined Prince William's Earthshot Prize after resigning as the New Zealand Prime Minister. Jacinda Ardern says she will strive in her new role to ensure that people with large bucked teeth are not marginalized across and harassed across America or the world. She said people with buck teeth and big frontal teeth need to be taken seriously. She says, just because you have small teeth and you're not bucky like me doesn't mean that you should have any kind of power. You should have just a little bit of power. But it's the power of the buckies. And the buck tooth Jacinda earned liberals of the world. Yes. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if New Zealand or somebody else says, oh my God, you made fun of our prime minister. That's a crime. Good luck with that. I just want to tell you, good luck with that, right? Democrats are just proving how dumb they are again and again and again. As a retard from Montana, yes, there are Democrats in Montana. I didn't think there were. Hey, good morning, Pat. Hey, good morning, Patrick. I hope you're doing well there, my friend. God bless you. Yeah. Darren's in the house. Watch out. You better watch out. Darren's in the house. So I hope y'all are having a great day. God bless you, man. I'm telling you, it's just crazy. It's just idiocracy, man. Oh my God. So Democrats are trying to cover their ass. They're dumb as frickin' rocks, right? John Tester, Democrat from Mo Tanner. I think he's a Democrat from Mo Tanner. Anyway, here downplaying the Chinese spy balloon, telling an audience in Montana that we're being watched all the time with satellites anyway. So why would it matter if they just flew a balloon over our base and circled it back around? I really don't think that the Chinese have geostationary satellites literally parked over the Montana nuclear missile fields, the Minuteman missile fields. Okay. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the hell's the matter with these folks, man. Really? Anyway, so John Tester, good old Johnny Tester, man. This is what just what Johnny had to say.
Keep in mind this: the balloon invaded our airspace, and it's something that we should never accept. But we're being watched all the time with satellites, all the time.
All the time.
Keep in mind this:
all the time. All the time. Yeah. I mean, there's cameras everywhere all the time. And every time we go to the grocery store, we're being watched as if we're a shoplifter. Every time you go to Walmart here on the East Coast, and Walmart on the West Coast is a little different because that's just a shop and rob. Okay. Here on the East Coast, the only place that's a shop and rob is the convenience store. Otherwise than that, if you're going in and think you're going to spend minutes or a half hour or whatever in Walmart stealing shit, and people aren't going to put a foot in your ass, you better wake up. Okay. I mean, really. I mean, really, it's not the same world here that it is out there. I'll tell you that right now. Oh my God. I mean, what the hell is the matter with people? We got about 13 minutes left here. What else we got going on here? Wow. Here is a report from Gateway Pundit. I think it's Gateway Pundit. Yeah, Chuck Costello, right? Chuck Costello, and there was a woman who made an accusation about why Donald Trump was really charged. I was laughing about this, and I don't know how true it is, but as much as the Chinese have paid the Biden family, I'm sure that they would encourage this.
Chinese Communist Party. And Mr. Mao Guo, the leader and the founder of the new federal state of China, he dropped a bombshell 2 years ago. Remember, 2 years ago, he warned the America that the CCP will do everything to stop President Trump from its 2024 presidential bid. So this whole Trump's indictment was orchestrated and planned by the Chinese Communist Party. So this country's justice system has been weaponized by the CCP. American politics has become a one-party game by the CCP. If we don't stop the CCP will determine who will be the next U.S. president. America is now the communist country. We need to save this country now.
Amen. You think the majority justice system has been hijacked by communist regimes?
Yes.
That's what's happened here.
And that's why they arrested Mao Guo and jailed him. Today, Mr. Mao Guo's bond hearing is to be held right across from the street. They let all the criminals in New York walking the street free, but they denied Mao Guo's bail request. What kind of a two-tiered justice system in this country? This is a CCP country.
Yeah, well, she is right. Now, she's talking about a case where a man who has a convenience store, before you bash convenience stores too much, right? That's the one where the guy, some woman wanted to put something on her car, or food stamp card, or some card or something, and there wasn't enough money, and he told her, and she went and got her boyfriend. Her boyfriend come back and tried to strong arm the guy, and I think he was shot twice. I'm not sure if I'm conflating this, but man, I'm telling you. It's stupid. It really is. So this guy was being robbed, beat, shot twice, got the gun from the robber. Boom, boom, the robber. I think it's Alvin Bragg, rat's ass. Man, they got his ass up in the jailhouse, man. His ass up in the jailhouse. Ain't that some shit? No bond. Self-defense in New York City. You may not get a bond. Jesus Christ, man. I'm telling you. It is just crazy. It's just nuts, man. Hey, howdy. Oh man, it's just nuts. And listen, Darren, I understand convenience stores prices are a quarter, 50 cents, sometimes $1 more than the grocery store. But that's why they're use them as convenient, not as well. Every place, every time, everywhere. Ah, man, I'm telling you. And you're right about that, Greg. I mean, Greg, you're absolutely right, my friend. I mean, people, it's like the Biden said, "Don't fuck with the Biden family." Man, I'm telling you, people go fuck around and find out. That's like me and my neighbors here. We're easy going. We're just, hey, mind your own business, mind your own life, don't hurt anybody, beat your wife, everything. Don't beat your wife, everything's okay, right? But man, I'm telling you, I don't know why. Man, I don't know why our government has flipped itself back on its head, I'm trying to think if I played that clip or not. I'm losing track of my time, guys. Sorry. But yeah, it's idiocracy. Hey, what other news information we got come out in the last couple hours that I see or haven't seen or whatever? And let's see. What do they got over here on Zero Hedge? Yeah, if you're not aware, Fat Alvin up there in New York, he's been subpoenaed by Jim Jordan. So yeah, Matt Taibbi. I was reading this earlier. This was funny as hell. Matt Taibbi. Matt Taibbi, was laughing at MSNBC, who was talking shit about Taibbi and others that reported Barry Weiss and I forgot the guys' their names, but they were talking about the Twitter files, and and MSNBC says, "Oh my God, you guys, you're fake news, you're misinformation, you're disinformation," and I'm telling you, when you look back at MSNBC and when they talk about the Mueller report with Sideshow Bob the Turd, okay, when you watch them and they talk about when they talked about the COVID pandemic in the last number of years, when they talked about the Trump-Russia collusion lies again and again and again, you want to look, if there are lists for misinformation and disinformation, ABC, NBC, CBS, fake Fox News are at the top of the motherfucking list. The New York Times, the Washington Post. If it's a major news story in there, you really have to read it carefully because it's more than likely propaganda. It's trying to condition your mind to think about a topic a certain way, or it's a bold-faced lie like they did for years about Trump-Russia collusion or the Carter Page saga. Remember the Carter Page and all that stuff, right? And those FISA warrants. The New York Times knew it was all a lie. They buried the lie, or I should say, they buried the truth and they published the lie. That's what the New York Times does. And they do it whenever it is convenient for the bureaucratic governors and presidents of America. If you think your senators and your congressmen and your president are your real leaders, they're not. Okay? They're not. Our country has been shit on, spliced on, and screwed around 6 different ways. MSNBC, one of the things that Taibbi points out is that MSNBC mentioned the Hamilton 68, the infamous dashboard of accounts that were supposedly linked to Russian influence activities. It was a complete fraud. It was a complete lie the whole time. It was basically just another piece of propaganda shoveled by a lying corporate media. Okay? Just a bunch of lying shitbag shills. And it's unfortunate, but that's the truth. And everybody, I should say before we close out here, tell your friends to like and subscribe. My media platforms that I'm on. If you're on Twitter or you're on YouTube or you're on Facebook, and I'm going to be going on Rumble, and I'm going to be doing some locals specials. I got some special stuff I'm putting together, and I'm going to do some special reports that I've got that I'm going to put together, and I may put them behind a paywall. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, or maybe we'll just do live events that only, only subscribers can attend or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm not really that interested in hiding a whole lot because I just want to get out onto the, get out into the public, So, yeah. And hey, thank you, everybody. Hey, thanks for coming, Guy. So, yeah. Remember that you do change the world and that you do make the difference. Just think if somebody would have gave that guy with the Cash App guy, if they'd give him a ride to the hospital. And that's something major. Imagine if you just gave somebody hope and happiness. Hey, thank you, Lolly. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, my friend. But I'm telling you, it's we can make the world better for free. We can help people for nothing. And it changed their day around. We can just be nice to them. We just be courteous. When somebody's being a smart ass, we could just tell them, God bless you, instead of fuck you. Anyway, hey, thanks, Darren, and thanks, everybody. I'm going to jump off here in just a minute. So remember to change the world today. In this time of universal deceit, it is up to me. It is up to you. We can do it. I know we can. God bless. Good day. And good luck. God bless you guys.